All right, guys, making a video here about my Week 8 NFL picks, breakdowns, predictions. I'm going to teach you a couple of things about how to be profitable sports betting. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old, right? Before I was even legal, I was doing this. I was sneaking into sports books with my 20-plus-year-old friends, 21-plus-year-old friends when I was 17, 18, and just sitting there hoping to not get caught, them placing bets for me. This is how you're supposed to do it, right? I'm teaching you right now. You do not take spreads on favorites ever in your life in NFL. That's the way to lose. Everything is not to be about the who's playing, who's not playing. You think the analytics give a crap about that? You think people that do that, the handicappers that do the lines care about if Fred Warner's out? They care about if is Khalil Mack coming back today? No one cares. No one gives a shit, right? It's just all computer numbers. All these are numbers, and that's what they all care about. It's all analytics, right? And I'm going to teach you a couple of things. Okay, first, let's go with versus the Minnesota versus Vikings versus the Chargers game. Okay, right away, I'm leaning under. Why am I leaning under? Because Chargers were just in a blowout game, and everybody saw how bad their defense is, and everybody's saying how abysmal their defense is. I'm immediately taking the under. Excuse me. You take the under because everybody's thinking the Chargers had a bad defense. Everybody thinking the Vikings had a bad defense. They went over last game. I'm taking the under at 44.5. Both games, I think, had 50 plus points in him. So it was the Vikings. The Vikings that gave up 22-28, yeah, 50 points in that Vikings game. So I am taking the under without a doubt. If you want to pick a side, I would have to pick the Vikings with the points because I can't trust the Chargers. The Vikings, the thing about the Vikings, as you can see here, in they on the road, they've been losing one score games, right? 21-17 in London or wherever they're playing in Europe, 21-24 versus Pitt at Pittsburgh, wherever they were in Europe. They played back to back in Europe? Yeah, I think they did. And then again against the Chicago, another one score game. So they are a one score game magnet in on the road. So it's going to be a close game. And if it's going under, the more chances it's likely it is, it's going to be a possession game. And it's 2.5 or 2. So 3 is not that bad of a number if you want to buy a point or whatever. But again, 3, I would probably lean the Vikings. I don't think the Chargers are that good, but I also don't think the Vikings are that good. Carson Wentz is 7-0 on Thursday Night Football. So that is just my 2 cents, but I lean the under. Next, let's go San Fran and Texans. This is automatic, easy winner, Houston Texans. Houston Texans just look like shit in prime time, while San Fran in prime time won their game against Atlanta Falcons, where everybody deemed Atlanta Falcons as a good team, besides knowledgeable ball knowers. And everybody thought Atlanta was legit because they beat the Bills, but the Bills suck too. So you were taking the Texans right here at -1.5. If you see their head-to-head right here, right, San Fran dominates the matchup, but also I can see is that this game is going to be low scoring. And if it's a low scoring game, I have to favor the Texans because the Texans are inept at scoring, but they should play well and should win this spot right here. You saw they played against Tampa Bay. They played them to a point game. It was a close game. And San Fran kind of got their ass beat by them. So transitive property, it usually doesn't work. But sometimes if that's the only thing you can go based on, I'm taking the Texans. I'm taking their defense. I think their San Fran defense is overrated. I know they have rookies on their team, but I'm taking the Texans, right? The Texans, I think, is good money, even though I hate CJ Stroud and he's a moron. But again, that is what I'm taking. Next is the Bills and Carolina Panthers. Bills off a bye. I need to see the Bills off a bye stat. Sean McDermott off bye, record off bye. Let's see what it is. He's a perfect 8-0 record following a bye week as Buffalo Bills head coach. Yeah, no brainer. I think you just got to take the Buffalo Bills money line. I know it's not a sexy line. I think it's like minus like probably like 300. But again, you got to take what you got to take, and that is what it is. I'm sorry, but I'm taking the 8-0 Sean McDermott off a bye, who has his team prepped, and ready to play against a Carolina team that even though Dave Canales is a great coach and Bryce Young is playing a little bit better because Dave Canales is a great puppet master, you have to put Buffalo and Josh Allen to get back on the right track, be 5-2. I think they're 4-2 right now. To be 5-2, to be 4-2, they'll be 5-2. Yeah. And that's what you got to take, right? You got to take that. Okay. Next, who do we have? Easy. See, these are easy. Take the Buffalo Bills money line. Easy, right? Again, another team. This is a revenge game, rivalry game right here. Giants versus Philadelphia. I think a lot of people will be taking the Philadelphia Eagles here. Let me check. Let me check. Give me a second. Give me a few. Give me a few. Um, yeah, I would take the Eagles minus 7.5, but I wouldn't take the spread. I probably would be taking their money line or first half money line. They'll become ready to play. They're to get chewed out by Nick Sirianni. Hey, you bitches played so fucking soft last time, and that's what's going to happen. And I think they're going to play harder and play better. And again, the Giants, Jackson Dart going another road start, back-to-back road starts, going to be tough for him, right? He lost to New Orleans Saints, lost to the Denver Broncos. He's 0-2 on the road, and now is probably going to be 0-3. Again, do not take any money spread if they're favored. It's a scam. It's a scam, right? I know it's a 50-50 chance to win, but there's no point in doing it if it's already hard enough because a lot of games are one-score games, more than people realize. Next, use Cleveland Browns versus New England, right? This game has underwritten all over it, right? Underwritten all over it. Possibility of rain, which is kind of bad, but underwritten all over it. I mean, when they play New England, over, under, over. So, yeah, I mean, they do kind of go over a lot for a Cleveland New England matchup, but New England, they're a better team. If I would want to take something, maybe Cleveland team total under. I don't think they're going to score a lot. They're probably their team total under if it's 40.5 is going to be 40.5. Let me do the math. 23-17, 24-17. So it's probably going to be 16.5, right? The over-under is probably going to be 16.5. I probably would take the under. Dylan Gabriel, I can't see him scoring more points than 16 points. You have to think about it. They played Pittsburgh, whose defense is shit, and they scored 9 points. And then who else did he play? The Minnesota Vikings. But again, no one knew what we knew. No one knew how good Dylan Gabriel was or had any game plan towards him. They don't know the footage of him. And Pittsburgh, after a week, kind of figured him out. I guarantee you a better defensive team like New England Patriots will be able to figure out the Cleveland Browns, Dylan Gabriel. So probably under 16.5 team total. I'd probably take that. The Chicago Bears versus Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson practiced today, right? And that's a good thing. That's why they're minus 6.5. If I would take anything in this game, let's check the weather because the weather is a massive thing. Weather is good and perfect, right? You got to take Baltimore. You got to take Baltimore, but I honestly would wait. I'd probably take Baltimore second half because Baltimore, you don't know how they're going to come out with Lamar Jackson. Is he going to be rusty? Are they going to be running the ball? I would probably have to wait and sit on this, but Chicago defense is not that good, and I would probably take Baltimore team total, even though Chicago Bears are 1-4 straight, but maybe Baltimore team total second half at 13.5, 14.5. You have to think about it. Baltimore last time they played the Browns, they had a very, very, very slow first half, 10 points only. But in the second half, they exploded. 10 points in the third, 21 in the fourth. And if I'm expecting anything from the Baltimore Ravens is that they will put up points in the second half. So I probably wait till the second half to put a wager on them. And I think that's fair, right? Next is New York Jets for Cincinnati. I'm guessing Tyrod Taylor is going to be starting, but it doesn't matter because both guys suck. Cincinnati Bengals defense is terrible as well. I would probably be taking the under, right? I would take the under because I think that the Bengals should control this game with and run the ball. Jets really can't stop the run. They've had issues stopping the run. Let me check if that's actually true because I watched them versus they have their eighth last in stopping the run, give 130 yards per And on the road, they're really bad. So I would take the Cincinnati Bengals money line and the under. I think that's a good bet, even though who is going to bet on that game, right? Like, if you're betting on that game, you're an actual degenerate. Okay. And where is this? Let me check the lines here. Give me a second, guys. Um, Jets. Where the fuck are the Jets at? Oh, they're there on top. Yeah, 44.5, 95% on the under. Yeah, the under looks like a good bet, even though the public's all over them like a prostitute on the street. But next we have, where are we left off? Miami versus Atlanta. I am taking Miami here 100% of the time. You know why? Because Atlanta is a really, really bad home team. They're a really bad home team. Okay. They struggle at home perennially, annually, always. And I'll take Miami against them. And they struggle against AFC teams, except the Bills, obviously. But usually they struggle against AFC teams in their history. So I would look at this. Atlanta here. Boom. Miami covered, Miami covered, Miami covered. I will take Miami to cover, even if Quinn Ewers plays or Tua plays. It doesn't matter. I'm taking Miami Dolphins. Okay. The Miami Dolphins can run the ball. Their defense is not as good, but I think that this is a good play right here at +6.5 or +7. I think a lot of people will be on Atlanta looking for a bounce back, but again, you can bounce back and still win and win by 7, or it'd be a 10-point game and Miami goes down, kicks a field goal, make it a 7-point game, and you still lose, right? That'll probably take Miami Dolphins. That's just what it is. Next, Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. This is a big rivalry game because these games are always close, no matter how good or how bad a team is. These games are usually close. As I say that, 51-27 last year. But usually these games are close, and I would definitely be taking Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay can't stop receiving running backs. So Kamara should have a big day if you're a fantasy guy, or Miller should have a big day catching the ball. And I assume that Tampa Bay is going to win this game. I probably would be taking the money line at -256. Next, we have Dallas versus Denver. Dallas versus Denver. And you have to understand, Tampa Bay, this is a game that they're probably like, all right, let's just blow this team out. Let's get a win back, and let's keep moving on in our day and win the division, right? That's what they're probably thinking. Dallas versus Denver. This is a huge game. I am taking the Denver Broncos, right? Team total. I think that's an actual great pick right there. You have to understand, Dallas on the road is bad, has bad defense. They gave up 22 points to the Jets, right? 31 points to the Chicago Bears, 30 points to the Carolina Panthers. On the road, their defense is abysmal. Okay. So I am definitely taking the Denver Broncos team total, which will probably be, what is it at? Denver Broncos team totals at 50.5 a game, 3.5 spread, probably 26.5 to 23, 26.5 for them, 23.5 for the Cowboys. 26.5 seems like a steal. They probably should score 30 points, right? So I like the Denver Broncos team total there. I think that's a solid pick. Next, we have Tennessee versus Indianapolis. So this is a game where I feel like no double-digit per people have covered, right? No team covered yet from my double-digit. I'm thinking of the Buffalo Bills. I think the Chiefs were double digits last week and they covered, but it's been rare that a double-digit favorite has covered. And I think the Indianapolis Colts should cover this game. I think they're much better. As the Colts didn't cover a -10, I think they're much better. Let's see if the Saints of Tennessee, if they covered. Tennessee has not been a 10-point dog in a while. So, I mean, they're just much better. You can see the total yards last time, 365. They actually didn't even play that bad, 282 to 365. Huh. They didn't even get outplayed that badly. Yeah, Tennessee. I'll probably be taking Tennessee plus 14. I think that's a good bet. I think that's a good bet. Tennessee plus 14. I'm changing my pick right now. 27% on them only. I like Tennessee team total probably too. I probably would take that. Maybe what is it probably? 47 and a half, 14 points, 30 to 16. So 30 to 1 to 31 to 16 and a half. 16 and a half Tennessee Titans. I like it. Book it. They got to score sometimes, right? Green Bay Packers versus Pittsburgh. This is my favorite team this year, Green Bay. I think they're underrated. I think people hate on them. Again, look, I said it. This is why they're number one. They'll be favored against every team on a neutral site. And that's why they're my number one team, because on a neutral site field, they'll be favored. They're playing at Pittsburgh. They're favored as a -3 or -2.5 favorite. And I'm taking the Green Bay Packers to win this game. I don't think that Pittsburgh can stop them. I think their offense is too good. I think that their defense should get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. And you have to understand, Green Bay has been waiting for this game against Aaron Rodgers. They've been waiting. This is where the CEO of the Packers say, hey, let's give it to them. This game means more to us than it does to the Steelers. And even though it's in Pittsburgh and it's a Sunday night, I wish it was at Lambeau Field, but it's not. So I gotta put Green Bay Packers to win this game. They're only getting 30% of money. I think they're the better team. Well, I know they're the better team, and they should win this game, right? Even though they haven't covered on the road this year, take a money line. They should cover that. Game should not go over though, I think, because only 31% of money on the under. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe this game is not going to go over, but Green Bay should get it done, right? Green Bay should get it done. KC versus Washington. Well, let's check the weather in Green Bay also. The weather is fine. 40 degrees. All right, it's fine. Washington versus KC. KC should blow them out. I mean, this shouldn't even be a fair matchup. Washington defense is terrible. I don't know how they're going to stop them. I honestly, if you can take KC team total, take KC team total. They're the best team. They're going to score 30 plus every single game from here on out. They're just that good at offense. They have Rashee Rice back. They have Hollywood Brown. They have Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, their team is just too stacked on offense. And if they can turn over Marcus Mariota, give short fields to Pat Mahomes, they should score 30 plus easily. What is their total? 46 and a half. It's 46 and a half, and they're a 13-point favorites. So that means the score is supposed to be 29 to 16 or 30 to 17. And 29 and a half, yeah, 39. I'll probably, if it's 29 and a half, you take the 30. They're going to score 30 for sure. But anyways, hope you guys like this video. Again, quickly, I'll break it down again. I don't remember what I said. I said the under for the Minnesota versus Chargers game. Take the Texans. Buffalo Bills money line. Philadelphia Eagles first half money line. Patriots, Cleveland. I don't really have a pick on that game, but I'll probably just take New England Patriots money line. Ravens second half team total, probably 12 and a half, 13 and a half. Take that. Love that. Miami, I'll take plus 7.5. Bengals, I would take money line. Money line, yeah. Tampa Bay versus New Orleans, Tampa Bay money line. Denver Broncos team total, I'll take that over 28 and a half, 26 and a half, whatever it would be. 28 and a half, 28, 20, 27, 27 and a half, 27 and a half versus 24. Yeah. 26 and a half or 27 and a half. So I'll take Denver Broncos team total. I'll take Tennessee team total 16 and a half. I'll take Green Bay Packers money line. I'll take KC team total. Do not take money line spread favorites. It's never going to work out in the long run. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Thank you.